Hey, what's up? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. What's up, man?
Nothing much, just chilling. How about you? How's everything?
All good, all good. Fortunately, man. It's a little cold here,
Oh yeah,
but yeah,
cool.
hold on. Whoa, amazing, man.
Yeah,
very, very cool presentation you have for us today.
yeah, different things. Hopefully, Minds Gaming
Very
could
cool.
show up today. I
Yeah,
mean,
it'll be cool.
it'd be interesting to talk to him. And a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, yeah. I see the Imagine Station or something.
Uh huh.
Imagination Station or something.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane in there. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah. We've been getting crazy in there. Um, Yeah, John was the one that like showed me that thing that I shared with you to make the kind of like spears, the spores or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
and then like I just keep on like fucking around with it, like the Terrence McKenna one in the middle. It's like
Yeah.
it's like three
Oh,
different
sorry,
one.
man. I touched it.
It's like three different ones.
Three
It's
different McKennas in there. Okay.
yeah. There's even a Imaginarium in there behind like the weird alien Dreamtime one. You can kind of see it above his eye. There's like another little face there. Do you see it?
I have to get
That's
closer.
yeah, that's Imaginarium right there in
Okay.
the middle above Terrence McKenna's eyes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was like the alien Dreamtime one. That's in there,
Dude,
and even
it's insane.
the MTCG token. Uh,
Yeah.
like behind it is what do you call it? A joy stream.
No
Yeah,
way. Sick. Sick, man.
that one's a crazy one. But yeah, I just started messing
Well,
around with yours. How did you make your little crazy guy right there? Like the more I do it, like there's one that I did that was like far out view, and there's like all these like little
okay.
faces and these faces. I think you've seen that one,
Okay.
but yeah, that one's crazy.
I have to go through the entire thing that you sent me, but man, the ones that you posted and shared with
Oh, on
the,
Imaginarium,
I mean,
yeah,
like, oh my god, man, it blew my mind.
yeah,
I've
and
never
and you
shared
know like the one right here that I share, like it's crazy what's happening in the middle above the face. So you know, like in the middle, there's a face, and there's like a neutron that's like antimatter that's
Yeah,
forming in the middle of this thing,
yeah, yeah,
like charging it up.
dude.
it was
They're
that.
beautiful, man. They're
Like,
beautiful.
yeah, when you do those the fractals, you get all sorts of crazy shapes, you know. And then two, you know, what's cool is like when you start off already with like things that are kind of symmetrical or have some symmetry, and then you get some like crazy advanced like geometry shapes that gives like really crazy
Yeah,
dimensions. Like I've done
like I have to.
like I've done some that are
Uh,
like a bunch of times in that thing, and it looked like coral. Like it gives like I don't know. It looks also weird. But yeah, what were you gonna say?
I think someone's here, but no. What I was gonna say is I was trying to read through that tool, and
Oh yeah, with
yeah,
the
it's just a
vacuums
whole
in here.
bunch of math. What's
Yeah,
up, man?
yeah, it's all crazy. Yeah.
Oh shit! I keep moving your image, man. I'm so
No,
sorry.
it's cool.
So I'm on my phone and it's weird to navigate.
But yeah, it's probably because they're pretty big images and shit. But anyways, what's up within the vacuum? Can you hear us? Are you there?
Hey,
Oh,
what's up?
cool.
Hey, what's up, man?
How's it going?
Everything great. Yeah, having a good time.
Cool,
How's
cool.
what about you guys? How's everything going?
Good, good. We were talking about this one image. It's made out of something Eclipsing Binary did. The one on the right. But yeah. So how did you do that image? The initial image.
Um, okay, so this is a weird one. Don't judge me. uh, I'm doing like a series of that I don't know why I called abstract beings, but
Uh-huh.
some are not so abstract, but some get abstract and like um, but basically they're selfies,
Oh, okay.
and just using mixing around
Yeah.
multiple apps,
Uh-huh.
you know. And one I just mirror it, and the other ones I like change the color and distort, and like then I mirror it again, and
Uh-huh.
then it just starts making this weird thing. And as I do it more, like I get weirder with it, I
Yeah, yeah,
guess.
yeah, yeah.
But it's yeah, it's a lot of just mirroring and mixing and remixing, and
Yeah, for sure. That's how
but yeah,
that's
go
how
ahead.
like everything in all these things are like that too. Like the background of the what we're calling, I guess, the binary web is this thing that I did in Dolly. I forgot what I
Yeah,
said. I said like hyperspace. I don't know. I was using like weird stuff like DMT geometry of hyperspace or something like that, right? I think that's the one that.
nice.
And then so I got like different variations, and then I got those variations, and I have my one of my effects. Like I have effects program that it does video and images too. So, anyways, I put it in the video moshing thing, which I have like a lot of different like options. Anyways, and I make these tiles out of them, right? And I sent you like the starting of them. And then I put it through like the kaleidoscope one, and then I just like do it until I find something that I like, right? And then
Yeah,
I build out from there. That's how you like the web is like that, and there's like it's kind of interesting. Like you see how you could like manipulate, you know, kind of basically all sorts of things. Like there's this post, and I forgot what it said about like AI or whatever. Um, and then it said just about how like it's changing the way we make art, and I don't know about that, but it's interesting what you can do to manipulate it. Like, what I mean? It's not just enough, I think, to like just make a cool image in Dolly, right? It's like, okay, what can you like transform that into? Um,
yeah,
and keep on like creating this weird feedback loop to where you create these like oh what was I calling it? I had a term. Um, I think decomposable artwork, like like a different variation of remixing. Like you're getting everything
okay.
and like recycling it and recomposing it into like different things, and it's basically playing with the spore metaphor. Like that's what like
Yes.
the fungus does, and like
Also,
breaks down stuff. What are you gonna
yeah,
say?
no, yeah, that also merging and
fusion, like those terms also describe it very well. Like, kind of fusion of different sources and energies and, colors and shapes and mm, made it this,
Yes.
like, yeah.
So
Do
what?
you have an idea what is gonna become when you start it?
No, not really. That's
You just enter
that.
the data.
Yeah, exactly. Is just is always a surprise. I really don't know what I'm gonna get when I started to you know
Yeah.
to
Um.
to work with it.
That's what I'm enjoying
That's
about
really
all this
cool.
stuff. Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
really cool feature from your perspective because you really don't know what to expect, and sometimes it's it's something really crazy or shapes and I don't know. Yeah, it's great. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I experienced the same thing. I'm like, I don't know what this is gonna be, but let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's fun just like messing around with it, playing with it, and like and that's the other thing too that I was mentioning in your blog was what we're talking about at a imagine station gathering. Um, what is it call it? Social reality is human niche creation or something like that. And like
I
when it
love that.
yeah, and like when it pertains to like the digital environment is like, oh, what is like your digital nomad skill stack, like what like different things and what combination do you do and what do you enjoy, and like that's like how you're able to manipulate and also to like express um in hyperspace. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, because like that's one thing like from the beginning of me and my like experience on the internet was like I took like this a computer science class in high school, and that was like at the time it was like dial up, everything was dial up, so like to really like search like at home was like a real like nuisance, right? But then like all of a sudden I get access to like a pretty good computer with like a T1 connection, and it was like, oh shit. And so like none of us would ever do any real work. We'll always surf the internet. And then everybody found out about Napster, and this was like Napster before anybody knew who Napster was. So like I guess like my first initial skill set was like searching and like being able to do like I would like search for music like all the time on Napster. I would just like get all sorts of like play like I would just like download like everything. I would like like try to the more obscure the better, and I would like to like search it to where I could find stuff that wasn't like on Napster. I'd be like, okay, that was a successful day of schoolwork.
oh yeah.
Like I
Just
was
leaving the computer overnight, just
yeah, I'm
downloading
like trying,
stuff.
yeah, like trying to beat like Napster of like obscure like punk songs, Like, do they have this one? Do they have this bootleg of this? It's like,
Yeah, I remember Groove Shark. I don't know if you remember that
okay,
app.
uh huh.
Groove Shark. Remember that one?
No, so
That's
it was
cool.
like
Yeah.
what peer to peer downloading files and shit or what?
Yeah. No. It was just he, he he did it alone.
Oh,
Uh, yeah. It was like I don't know, like 5 years time of that application. I don't know. But yeah.
yeah.
It was
I
it was
used
really cool.
Audio Galaxy for
Okay.
music. I don't know if you ever. It was
Hmm.
around that time too. I think it was slightly before Napster, but then
Okay.
Napster took over.
Yeah.
For a lot of like LimeWire,
LimeWire
Kazaa,
afterward. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
But
all
like,
these crazy softwares.
yeah. Yeah,
It was fun, man. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. A lot of fun. A lot
Yeah.
of fun.
I remember
I
like,
remember you. I get some interesting. I get some interesting music
oh
from
yeah,
those apps that you can find that now. It's not online anymore.
yeah, yeah. That's
True,
true.
true.
You know, there's like these this old.
Yeah, I remember a band from England that was called the Premier League. No, there was an Argentinian guy
Uh huh.
and a British guy, and the band was called the Premier League, and they were so cool, and I can't find it anymore.
Oh
You
yeah,
know, I
yeah,
remember from that time, and it disappeared.
yeah. So have what about what music have you guys been making any new music recently?
Oh, well, I'm starting to work on a show
Oh, cool.
actually, live music. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I'm in that process, but yeah, always I was checking out Eclipse send me drums and yeah, yeah. I'm more focused on the on live
Hell yeah.
show. Yeah, I've been very
Similar.
well. Mhm. You also?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah. Well, I've been playing more in real life. Like we've just been spending like a lot of time at the studio, just rehearsing, jamming. We're not preparing for any show, but yeah, spending more time with the band and working on actual music. Uh, but I am working on just one song, but it's like an old song that I just like I'm tired of, like I don't really want to sing anymore. Like I'm doing the other stuff where I put like people speaking over it. I'm working on one of those. I'm taking one of my old songs and putting a person talking about like humans and machines on it right now. Like that's kind of what I'm working on. But yeah, a lot of live playing. Just been
Cool.
enjoying spending time with other people and like just playing music, man. Having a lot
Awesome.
of
It's all about that. Rock and roll.
oh yeah,
Yeah, great, man. Great. Yeah, I've been, starting to think about it because it happens that we will have to make a show for, yeah, like, April, something like that. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, but right now I'm more, like I'm playing some. I like to play some J Kell and jam over it. So
oh yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's what I do all the time. Like play whatever, or just random music and play over it.
Yeah, you know,
It's for fun.
when I was in Florida, I had this friend that that's what we do. We'll smoke some weed and then I'll play a song and then he'll jam on the guitar like along with it or over it and stuff like that. And it was
Yeah,
like, and then it was like try to find like the right like song for it to like play back and forth with. Like it was cool. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Like him just improvising over it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
You
yeah.
just find, yeah. You find the note and and create an arrangement over on the fly,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
Hmm.
the song,
yeah, for
right?
sure. Uh huh.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it was
something
like
like
that.
that.
So I was like
Mhm.
picking like like some like instrumental like mixtape stuff. So like it was like basically setting like a lo-fi like kind of like beat or whatever, so that he could have like improvise a lot over it. Yeah.
I learned. I learned how to do that actually on the Light of Day album with Robert. You know, Robert worked as a session player in LA for some times in the 90s. Sorry. And yeah, when we were recording, you know, he invited the musicians, and they came and play over the songs without a clue of about any of the songs, you know, like blank, and they had to improvise and play over it. And so, you know, it challenged me, you know, in a way, because you know how they can do that, you know, and to record. So yeah, I learned how to do that. So I do it all the time just for fun. But I can do it. I can do it, yeah, on the studio also.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah,
That's
I
awesome, man.
practice a lot. You know, you have to practice a lot.
Yeah.
You develop a discipline, and you just, you know, you don't see it as any discipline. You know, you just have fun. But yeah, I like to practice.
Hell yeah.
You know what else I liked on Minds recently was that on the Minds podcast it was just like us talking about like how lame it is.
All right.
How lame it is that they're talking about Twitter instead of making Minds better.
Yeah, yeah.
And it didn't start with me.
Oh man, makes me angry, man.
Yeah, it was, but I was, I would agree.
Each their own, right? Like, I
Yeah.
mean, that's what they want to do, whatever. But I mean,
And then like
yeah, like,
there's like an opportunity. Like I always feel like there's always these opportunities, and then like mine's always kind of like doesn't like rise to the occasion. Like even to the extent when every time I'm like, oh, I get like someone like a friend like really interested to like open to the idea of like using mine to its like potential, and like the future potential of it. And then they use it, and then like something happens, and then they're just like, "Fuck it." It's just like after that mindset is like, "Oh, fuck it," and like you're never gonna get it back. You're just like, "Oh god, damn it! Why every time?" You know what I mean?
yeah, man.
Yeah.
And it's like that's what hurts, like you see, like, fuck, this is such a great tool for creators, like
Mm-hmm.
if they can really like help us make a living doing this shit,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. And like, and that's like the oh my god, fucking crypto, like just like narratively, and they've gone back like all the way like before I would say like two years ago. Like how crypto was, like, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
Yep.
just totally like every progress that was made is just like a tide, and all the sand went back.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm saying too. There's also opportunity because, like, I'm on Twitter, and like everybody is all like, "Oh my god, what about if like Twitter doesn't last?" And like Elon Musk doesn't even want to be the CEO of Twitter anymore, and it just like even his half baked plans were like versions of stuff that we have on minds that could like just use a little bit more like love, and like like even like now there's like I don't know, like thousands of good Twitter engineers that could like, you know, two of them could be hired for mines, and it will go a long way. I think. You know
Yeah,
Oh
what I mean?
yes. Yes,
yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah,
That's
for
what
sure.
it's about, man. Like, build, man.
Yeah, because like they have the
And it is an
skeleton.
opportunity, like you said.
You know
You
what I
have to
mean?
look at it that way, man.
And
There's
then
no other way.
and
you
then
know?
even there's a whole lot of issues to stuff with like Discord. Like the biggest thing like that happens in someone's like realization in like going around in Web3 is like they're all using uh legacy like platforms, centralized
That's the weirdest shit.
conglomerate stuff. They're still, you know what I mean? They're still so tied to all of that that they can't even see most of the stuff that's happening already. You know, like they're all like looking at like Twitter and YouTube and not investing. You know, even the people that like Bill gives attention and stuff to like on Minds, you know, they're building their stuff like on YouTube. You know, it's kind of like all like using Minds to like filter things to go to like their YouTube. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I think that something tricky about the Web3 is that it obviously is on creation. It's building up. So yeah, it's funny to see
Yeah.
how this
Like I do
fits.
understand that
Yeah.
the other like Web 2 is where people are, like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
where the bulk of the people are, so like I understand to want to try to get them, but it can't just be like, well, the thing I don't like about Minds is that they're trying to bring them with fear. It's like,
Yeah, yeah.
hey, we're gonna go take your speech, so come over here, which is true, but I think we should like inspire people to come here. That this is a
Yeah.
fucking amazing platform, and
And
Well,
that's what and
still, there are too many people out there that that are really into the official narrative, about all of that about politics and all of the
yeah, but you
the,
know what? It's
the
even worse than that,
and
and it goes to this whole like human and machine. It's like this addiction to the algorithm and to like what I think a lot of these content creators create their stuff to the algorithm. And I know it because, like, you know, on like posting on YouTube for over a period of time, you know, you get all these suggestions like, oh, you're like doing this, and like, why don't you do this more of this and this and that, like your demographics and all that kind of bullshit or whatever. And I mean, I remember one time it was like the funniest thing. It was like, you know, one of the first waves of like censorship on like YouTube, and they started coming on Minds, and then it was like the thing, like, oh, I'm getting censored on YouTube. Go follow me on YouTube. And I'm like, what the fuck? And so, and you know, like this guy like starts off at doing like computer like tutorials and talking about computers, and then all of a sudden he's talking about like right wing politics, and he's like Canadian. He's talking about like U.S. right wing politics, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like that's totally like doing your content to the algorithm. It's like, oh my god, I got all these fans that are like watching me, and they want me to talk about like trashy on politics. So that's what I'm gonna do. Like his channel is called Computers
So weird.
Forever. I'm like, what the fuck? And I was like, this is so crazy. But like, you know what I mean? And then there's like a whole cycle of that on the other side of consuming it. You know, if you're watching so much of that stuff, you're getting, you know, suggested all of these like obscure channels. You know what I mean? There's like an endless rabbit hole of content that you could like watch. But you know,
it always ended up with aliens,
yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which is fun, you know. I much
Oh yeah.
rather I much rather have like a fun, trippy, and even sometimes scary like alien like conspiracy versus like pedophiles, baby eating, satanic stuff. And I'm like,
Oh yeah. That's fucked up.
even the Satanists don't believe in Satan. You know what I mean? Like that's like the whole like radical like thought. Like you know, like I remember there's like an old Terrence McKenna line, and he's like, you know, the kind of the most scariest thought is that there's like no master in control. Like you're absolutely like nothing, and like that like emptiness of like the void, like it's like really like even scarier that there is like some kind of like god or whatever or afterlife.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. What could be more scary?
Yeah. And I think too, to the extent like that's like my kind of like initial like bias against like the podcast, and I haven't even like listened to it, but it's like they're reacting to the algorithm, you know, like, oh, this is what's trending right now is Elon,
Mhm.
Twitter. Oh, let's ride the wave of doing what everybody else is doing, saying we're alternative.
So true.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So true. So true.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
mine's gaming. Join the lobby.
hey.
Yo.
Yeah, people tend to do that always.
Yeah.
You know, also in music.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I was working as producer. You know, came some guys with a project and stuff, and I want to sound like that. You know, and play you know, like whatever, some new metal or something like that. And you know, okay, you want to sound like that. Okay, you know, it's so just find out, you know, what I want to be. It doesn't make any sense, but you know, it's a regular uh, way of moving. You know, look outside and see what can I copy. But yeah, it happens.
It does, man. Yeah. Everybody's stuck. You know, the endless scroll. Just stuck. You know, it's weird.
Yeah, and also, you know what I was trying to show them is that the root is to go inside, you know, and to find their own their own essence and extract it from it, right? Instead of looking outside, you know, go and look it inside and find something uh, more more yours, right? More authentic, and
Absolutely.
just put it out there. You know, you never, you just have to do it. You know, like it's something that you need to release, and right away they change. You know, like, oh yeah, no, let's go inside, and they came with some new fresh ideas and everything. Yeah. I think that applies to almost, you know, like a way of living,
Yeah. And like
Yeah.
right?
that's like been my like central critique, or whatever I bring to the table in Omega is like, okay, before we like talk about like cryptocurrency or whatever, let's just talk about like communicating and creating via the medium of the internet. You know what I mean? Because if it's all
Mhm.
happening on the internet and in this like ethereal half, more than half mental space, like that's a big can of worms in itself, you know, before we do other things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Absolutely, man.
It's
Hey, what's
about that.
up? Mine's Gaming. You there?
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
What's going on, guys? How's it
Well,
been?
yeah.